Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today, we have a couple of wild court videos, including a drunk Karen in Texas and a truly dangerous defendant in Michigan who tries to play the victim card against a judge who isn't buying his BS. But first, let's step away for an extremely important message from today's sponsor, Aura. Did you know that every time I've talked about Aura, a new data breach has occurred? And this next one is probably the biggest breach yet, as over 2.9 billion records were stolen from National Public Data, which offers personal information to employers, private investigators, staffing agencies, and others doing background checks. These stolen records include a person's full name, date of birth, address, social security number, and phone numbers. And members of this hacker group have reportedly released this information online for free, and puts each and every one of us in a position to be taken advantage of by bad actors like hackers, scammers, and spammers, all of whom make money off our personally identifiable information. And it really pisses me off that these deplorable individuals would take advantage of people like you and I who've worked hard to get where we're at today. But honestly, I'm not even worried about it because I've been using Aura for months now, and Aura alerts me anytime my information is found on the dark web. They quickly let me know if anyone is trying to use this information to access my credit accounts and bank accounts. And they even offer up to $5 million in personal identity protection should the worst case scenario happen. Add that to the VPN and other online services they offer, and that's a full suite of online personal protection all in one convenient app. So use my link, aura.com/Team Skeptic, to start your 14-day free trial, which is plenty of time for Aura to find out if any of your personal information has been leaked to the dark web and to take the necessary actions to remove it. So thank you once again to Aura for sponsoring this video and protecting my subscribers. So let's begin.
The next case is Dexter Austin Apartments.
So what that means that
is versus Bithia
You
Nara
gotta pay
Velasquez
$1,000,
and
bitch.
Arturo Rodriguez. Who's here on behalf of Dexter?
I'm here, Your Honor. Yes, me, the Dexter.
Yes, okay. And is Bithia Velasquez or Arturo Rodriguez here?
They did not check in during check-in time, but Ms. Velasquez did say that they were planning on being here,
Well,
or they're trying to log on.
They're trying to log on?
Yes, but that was almost an hour ago. If Ms.
Okay.
Rodriguez, so if that's you on the phone, you'll push *6 to unmute.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop it right here briefly because it's about to get wild. Basically, the defendant was having trouble unmuting herself for court, so the judge passed on the matter. But the plaintiff is about to try to help her reconnect so they can get a resolution on her eviction. Keep in mind, the plaintiff and the defendant are about to be in the same room together at the same time. And I promise you have never seen anything like this before.
We've got Dexter Austin versus John Adame and Melissa Baker. Is that you, Miss Yasmin?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you were previously sworn. The rent is 1013, is that right?
Correct.
And you just want July prorated at 980, is that correct?
Yes and no. Their lease contract expired on the 24th of this month of July.
Okay,
They're still current. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, somebody's here screaming. Oh, I think Bithia's here. Hold on. She's Bithia. Oh, no. We're not doing that. We're on court right now. Give me 1 second.
no, you are she already dismissed my case.
She did not dismiss your case. The reason
Okay,
because
sí,
you
que
were
yo
not-
estuve esperando una pinche hora.
Okay.
Una pinche hora.
Give me a second.
Don't be fucking like that.
I was not. You were not on the phone.
I was on the fucking phone. Do you need fucking?
Okay. You have to give.
Aquí tome, aquí.
Okay. Do you want to go and log in? Because you're literally on
I
live
can't
right
fucking log in.
Okay.
I couldn't log in.
Bithia, you have to call. You have
Yo
to.
llamé a una mira, aquí te voy a enseñar. Las
Tell her,
llamadas.
tell her to go try the phone number again, Miss.
Una pinche hora
Yasmin,
tuve
Do
and
you
get-
hear, do you hear the judge? Peter, do you hear the judge? She's telling for you to log in.
Velasquez,
I can't.
Miss
Tell
Velasquez.
me and I will.
You see what I mean? I told you you've never seen anything like this before, and it's not even done yet.
Try the
I
phone
couldn't.
number again.
Mira, una pinche hora. Wait, mira.
Look, listen,
Mira,
she's talking
mira, 54 minutes. Right here.
to
Miss
you.
Velasquez,
54 minutes. I was waiting.
I understand. We tried to
I
message you.
I can't log in. They didn't give me the passcode. They gave me the fucking.
There's no
Look.
passcode. You just need the,
Look.
can you try again and we'll let you in right away.
Don't dismiss.
The what?
Que no.
You're on live, by the way.
I know I'm not lying.
Miss
And I've been
Velasquez,
54 minutes
She
on this
told,
fucking case. 54 minutes.
I
Almost an
know.
hour.
Can you
Really?
can you call again and we'll let you right in, okay?
They didn't give me the password. They gave me the passcode.
there's no
They didn't
password.
know.
Look,
Vergas. ¿Cómo que no?
Look, just dial right here. Look, dial this number.
Tell her to dial the number and we'll let her in.
There's no reason.
There's no
Mamacita, mira,
reason.
mira, mi amor.
I
Mira,
understand.
55 minutes. That was it.
That's how you get.
55
That's,
minutes. Like, really, look. For real. Que no me encabrone. Que no me encabrone. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Yo me calmé. Yo me calmé.
Hold on,
We have 3 more cases, right, Miss Yasmin?
Yo me callé.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Your Honor. It's just that I have her in the office and I just I cannot hear you. I'm sorry. We were
Okay.
going based on John Adame's case
No,
and
go back
then,
to Velasquez.
hold
Right.
on. John Adame, actually, their lease contract expired on the 24th of this month.
So
They
that
have
would
not,
be $784?
correct,
Okay.
which is their prorated amount plus this amount for the remaining of the month. They have not yet also paid the rents previous, sorry, Your Honor. They have not paid a little bit of their June rent as well, so I'm trying to grab possession of the
No.
unit.
Que go back to my case, and I'm going to the judge. Porque a mí ni siquiera me dieron el pinche paso.
Yes, I want to get possession of this unit of John Adame and
Mira,
Melissa.
Marisa, mira.
Okay, is there any left owing in June?
For the month of June, it's $213, Your Honor.
Okay. So it's 997 is what
Correct.
owed. Okay.
Yes,
And the appeal bond is 2026.
correct.
Okay. So we've got Dexter versus Jonathan Rodriguez.
Yes, for Jonathan Rodriguez, he has not paid for the month of July, which is this month.
Right.
Lease
I just heard her and her.
lease contract expired July the 3rd of this month of this year.
Okay.
Their rent is 1,335, so I'm asking for 1,335 along with late fees and judge
I can
court
just
costs.
give you the background.
Correct. Yes.
That shit.
Okay, so I need you to just have a seat and we're gonna go ahead and call
Okay,
it.
well, cuando yo estaba hablando, when I was talking, I was like, hello, can
Lydia.
you hear me? I was almost an hour. Aquí está, in the record. Almost an hour.
You wanna take a seat?
You have one have a seat and then she can go ahead and give you a call. You can go ahead and.
No.
Yeah, Judge, I think
You're gonna
I think she was the phone number, and I called out to push *6 to unmute.
Did you
a
hear
few
she said-
times.
I'm sorry, say that
No.
again?
If you're calling in through the phone number, you push *6 to unmute, and I repeated that a few times before we started the case.
You heard that, Vidya?
I
She
heard
wouldn't
that.
unmute.
I didn't hear that before. My fault.
Mhm.
Well, she definitely said it, but you probably didn't hear it due to drinking 10 tequila sunrises before the sun rises. Now after this, the defendant left the office and was eventually evicted from her apartment for non-payment of rent without further incident. So let's move on to our next hearing, which involves Judge Shackelford ripping the head off of a defendant who victimizes someone else and then tries to play the victim card on himself in court.
All right, this is the people versus Christopher Moore. I have misdemeanor files 241722, 241589, 241136, and then we have a felony file. This is 241796 FY appearances.
Morning, Your Honor. Jeffrey Fanto on behalf of Mr. Moore. As to the state cases, we've waived formal reading, as for warrants to be recalled. As to the city case, that's set for pre-trial 5th, and request would waive formal reading and stand mute.
Okay, so as to 241796 FY, the felony case, this is a charge of home invasion, third, and domestic violence. Mr. Moore, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney, and you have a right to have that attorney present during any future questioning and any future court hearings. In the event you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. You have 2 court dates within the next 21 days. Your first court date is your probable cause conference, which you can appear at via Zoom, and that is set for August 26th of 2024. Following that, on September 9th of 2024, you will have your preliminary examination. At that examination, the prosecutor will have to show that a crime was committed and probable cause exists to charge you with that crime. With respect to the remaining 3 cases, we have a state of Michigan versus Christopher Moore on 1136. State of Michigan versus Christopher Moore on 241589, and then we have a City of Taylor case 241722, and that's the B&E. As to all of those, the warrants have been set aside. They'll be set for pre-trials.
Judge, I would note that Moynihan is on. I would just ask that the 2 misdemeanor state cases be set for the 26th as well.
The misdemeanor state case be set for is the 26th, so that's a Monday?
That's the same day you set for the PCC.
Oh, okay, so we'll just have them all.
Same parties.
All right.
Then the state, or the city case, I think is September 5th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's a date of September 5th on that one. And then Ms. Moynihan, all 3 of the felony matters, then when we come in for the arraignment, or I'm sorry, the probable cause conference on August 26th, we'll just have those 2 misdemeanor files follow the felony. Now, as to bond. Ms. Moynihan, is there anything you have to say as to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Tina Moynihan on behalf of the people, P84-692. Judge, we were in court on Monday. I was there as a prosecutor covering the docket for Ms. Sob and Ms. Davidova, and Mr. Moore was supposed to appear for an arraignment. He did appear by Zoom momentarily and then disappeared. He would not speak with Mr. Gizicki. With my understanding, Mr. Gizicki attempted to have conversations to proceed with the arraignment, and then Mr. Moore decided to log off before the case was ever called. My understanding, he then contacted the courthouse and spoke to a clerk downstairs and made threats to the court that if he came up to the courthouse that something was going to happen to people in the courthouse.
I wonder if this jackass even knows that those calls are typically recorded or monitored, and you can't just call up the courthouse and threaten mayhem because you don't want to come in and face responsibility for your crimes. But we aren't done yet, because they're about to go into detail exactly about the threats that he made and how dangerous this person actually is.
And then it was also my understanding of speaking with the complainant who appeared by Zoom that there was an incident in the night prior, which would have been Sunday night. In that incident, Judge, there has been a warrant requested. I am in the process of reviewing that this morning. The allegations there are that the defendant broke into the complainant's home again overnight, forced his way into the home. He then adjusted cameras throughout the home that the complainant had so that he could not be observed. He's seen wearing all black, a hoodie, as well as a mask covering a portion of his face. He then enters the complainant's bedroom. He pulls a gun from his pocket and then shows that to the complainant, claiming that her fingerprints were on that gun and putting her in fear of an altercation ensuing. Further from that, he's then seen leaving the location by the complainant and heading out in an unknown direction. My understanding is that he's been staying across the street at the home across the street from her residence. And I believe that that is also going to be considered a violation of his bond that's been issued, that he's had no contact with the complainant, that he's not returned to that residence. And then there's allegations of new criminal activity. In addition, Judge, to his failure to stay in court until the case was called on Monday, I do believe that Mr. Moore is a danger to the complainant as well as to the public as a whole. He shows a wholesome inability to comply with the court's orders. I would be asking for a $250,000 cash surety bond, no 10%, with a GPS tether and house arrest if he were to be released. And I would ask that there be a 2-mile radius from the complainant's residence so that he's not to return to that area.
So he showed up on Zoom court, but then he left before his case was actually called, which is a big no-no to begin with. And then we come to find out that the night prior, he showed up to the complainant's home address with a firearm and basically threatened her with physical harm. So if you've ever wanted a blueprint on how to ruin your life and make a bad situation worse, then call up this guy and he'll walk you through it step by step, possibly at gunpoint.
Anything, Mr. Fanto?
Well, I guess we have allegations that I don't know that the court should take into consideration relative bond as these cases stand. However, I would note that Mr. Moore does have some serious medical issues. At least if we could mark the files medical so that Wayne County knows. He is on SSI.
Okay. I don't think there's, the things I'm to take into consideration is whether or not he's a danger to the community. He's a lengthy criminal history. His behavior in this court has been absolutely egregious. Since these cases have started, he has assaultive criminal convictions. He clearly does not have any issue ignoring court orders. He is certainly a danger to Miss Butcher as well as the community at large. He's certainly a flight risk. He was already in immediate warrant status on one of the domestic violence charges on August 5th when he failed to appear for court. We've had a separate case where he had an immediate bench warrant on 2 different dates, both June 13 and August 5th, for failing to appear at court. He's now got pending against 1 complaining witness, 2 domestic violence cases, 3 domestic violence cases, a B&E and a home invasion. There's an allegation that a firearm was used in one of those instances. There was a police report filed. Detectives had to come over to the court Monday after there were allegations that Mr. Moore called the court, was extremely volatile with court staff. And Ms. Moynihan, the language was that he was going to come up to the court and commit a massacre. That's the allegation of what he was screaming at court staff.
So he was going to commit a massacre if he was forced to come into court. Nothing screams innocent more than a moron threatening mass violence if he has to come in and proclaim his innocence. That being said, I think the citizens of Taylor, Michigan can take a collective breath of fresh air knowing that this guy's already locked up and Judge Shackelford isn't about to change that.
So I have to agree with you entirely. Mr. Moore is a danger to the community. Mr. Moore is a flight risk. Mr. Moore has shown absolutely zero respect for the criminal justice system, the legal system, or the safety of his own child that resides with Ms. Butcher. He will have a $250,000 cash or surety bond with a GPS tether with a 2-mile radius of complaining witness's home. The file will be marked medical. Mr. Moore, you're to appear in court as directed. You're not to leave the state without permission of the court. You're not to commit any new crimes while released. You're to immediately notify the court of change of address or phone number. You're to have no contact with Ms. Butcher. And a matter of fact, you can't not only go to her home, you can't go on her street. These are on the felony case. These are the bond conditions set for 1796 FY. You are not to possess or have access to firearms. You cannot purchase or access or consume alcohol or illegal drugs. On misdemeanor, I've also signed the request for a court-appointed attorney to ensure that Mr. Moore has counsel at all future proceedings, and that's in the file. As to the 3 misdemeanor files, each of these files will have a $10,000 cash surety bond with a GPS.
Top of 250,000.
No, that's plus, so it's 280,000 altogether.
Hey, ma'am. If I can say something when you are done, please just let me know.
Mr. Moore.
Mr. Moore, you have a.
Prefer you not.
Yeah, Mr. Moore, you have a constitutional right to remain silent. Given the amount of hot water you're in right now, I would strongly encourage you to follow the advice of your counsel.
We've got pretrial services relative to the felony.
I will request a DSU report at counsel's request on the felony. Is there anything else?
Yes, can I say one thing, please?
Mr. Moore, your attorney is advising you not to say a thing.
I understand that. I'm asking, please. Would that be okay?
I would prefer you not, Mr. Moore.
I understand, I respect that, but this is my life in the balance and me ever seeing my kid. So I would like to say something.
You may not realize it now, but if you value your future freedom, then you would actually like to shut the fuck up. Because as your lawyer is trying to convey to you, there is absolutely nothing you can say at this point that is going to help your situation. But please, don't let any of us stop you from removing yourself from society for even longer.
I understand what this looks like. I understand that you guys are upset. I understand that I didn't show up and advise to every court ruling because I've had bad experience with the judicial system. That's not an excuse, but at the same time, it is the truth of what I'm saying. I have documentation showing, and I've called the courts. I called the detective. I called the domestic violence. I recorded them. And,
Mr. Moore, listen. Mr. Moore, I
understand.
appreciate all of that. I want to be clear, given your history at this court and what's happened recently, there is absolutely nothing that you can say that will change my bond on this case. Nothing.
How about her conspiring to commit murder on me?
So
and I haven't
what
touched
will
it?
happen is your attorney has requested a DSU, and I've granted that DSU request. So the Michigan Department of Corrections will meet with you, and if they find a bond modification is appropriate, they will issue a recommendation to this court. I'm not so inclined, or I don't know that I would even necessarily follow their recommendation, but I will certainly look at it and take it into consideration.
Ask her
And I
what-
marked the file medical.
Thank you.
She don't have
All right.
but she's to a 1% of motorcycle club.
All right, thank you. We're all set. Thank you over at the jail.
Thank
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah, I'm not sure any amount of pretrial freedom is actually deserved at this point. He has zero respect for the courthouse and blames everything on his previous experiences with the court, which shows an increased level of flight risk. And instead of letting the lawyer do all the talking, he does the worst thing possible by playing the victim card and blaming the actual victim for a situation. But due to his actions, it's clear to me, you, and Judge Shackelford that letting this guy out of jail presents a danger to the community and his victim. So I guess there's only one thing left to say.
Bye, have a great time.
Alright guys, that's the end of the video. Thank you for sticking around to the end. And once again, thank you to Aura for sponsoring today's video. Follow my link in the pinned comment to start your free trial today. So if you liked the video, hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike. But don't forget to leave a comment below and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss any of my content. I'm Team Skeptic, and I'm out.